Alright, welcome to another episode of After the Whistle, Wednesday, April 14th. Man, it's like halfway through the month already. It's just going on. Just like...
Yeah, man. For us people in the teaching world, this feels like a semi-vacation just because, like, that whole hybrid.
Yeah.
Honestly, when you get into the building, it makes you like, no, I feel the kids' frustration. You want to just jump out a window because you gotta, I want to say, reprogram your brain. Be conditioned to be in school again.
Yeah.
And work.
Yeah, because they're too used to being on YouTube. Being in their beds on YouTube
and honestly, we see today, like, granted, some kids are struggling with the remote, but like with the kids that can handle responsibility, that they're flourishing and doing fine. The ones that don't pay attention, that like to play dumb, that act like they don't hear nothing, they're struggling at home because there's no one there to save them.
That's usually always the case. You always have there's always the batch of responsible students, and then there's the irresponsible students, and then there's the in between kind of responsible. And
then you got like the internet is the biggest issue with the Wi-Fi all over the areas, and based on what type of service you have will determine how consistent it is and all that. So we try to do our best. I try to best be understanding with the kids.
T-Mobile service sucks.
Well, I feel like a lot of them kids got T-Mobile because it'd be tough.
That service is trash. Well, T-Mobile, we don't mean to trash you, but we don't trash y'all. Y'all service is trash.
Honestly, I can't really speak too much on it. I've never even had a T-Mobile phone.
I did. And yeah. Had to get up out of there. Some sad news this isn't. It's not like sad, like he passed away or anything, but when you say there's some disappointing, unfortunate series of events happened on Monday. Jamal Murray tore his ACL against the Warriors late in the fourth quarter, and ACL injuries always happen when it's non-contact, and once you saw that it was a non-contact and how he was, because they said they were talking about you could hear him screaming. If there were screaming fans there, you wouldn't be able to hear him, but you could see him in pain and you could hear him in pain. Like, that was the part that got me. Like, you could hear him.
He didn't react too well to that injury. I've seen other people do the same injury and were a little more under control. Yeah. So, everybody's pain tolerance is different. Pain threshold is totally different. Everybody's body's different. So, the way it was, it buckled before he even jumped off the ground. Yeah. So, like, that was the unfortunate part about it. I had to rewatch it because I didn't get to see it, so I had to watch it. So, that was unfortunate just watching that. And you're missing he's the second on the team in almost everything except for minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and this kind of rule messes up their championship window. It messes it up not only for this year but going forward because I think he's due for I think he signed a contract in the off season, but they got to pay some players and stuff. And he's injured, and then you got Michael Porter Jr. and Gordon. Will they bring him back? So they got some guys. Like, it's the front office is now like in the whirlwind because now he's like, what are you gonna do? Because he's one of the key guys for this team.
Yeah, them being fourth in the West, I see them dropping down maybe a little. Yeah, because Aaron Gordon still has to get acclimated to the team, still gets in the flow of things. But honestly, like, they can stay afloat if Aaron Gordon and
Porter,
Michael Porter Jr. Start playing, and you're gonna get more shots, more opportunities. So who knows? It might open up for these guys.
For Michael Porter Jr. This is actually his time to show that because everybody sees the potential with him. Like, the dude can put the ball in the basket. His problem is just immaturity, and he don't play defense at all.
And he's 6'10".
Yeah.
So Jamal Murray's a great guy. What is he, 6'3", 6'4" though? Yeah. So it's like when you got a guy that could probably flourish, and he's 6'10". You kind of want to see what he can do.
And as long as they have Joker there still, they'll be good. But their championship chances, it was like,
definitely.
It went for people thinking they have a chance to, like,
it's gonna be tough.
Some things have to go their way. Mm-hmm. All right. Also, what happened on Monday night? It was the Steph Curry show, and it turned out my man came out in the first quarter just launching that thing. He said they asked him in the press what was his mindset going into this game. And the post game, he said, I was going to shoot the ball. I was shooting everything. And his first 3 shots, he made 3 threes in a row. That's when you, like, for the Nuggets defensively, I'm just like, you might want to double team him because Not everybody. Nobody else on that team could really do much. You just gotta get the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, man. Congrats to Steph Curry. You know, with that accomplishment. When I heard about it, I was just like, okay, it was supposed to happen because the only person he was in competition with was Paul Arizin, who played 12 seasons with them. Yeah. He's the longest tenured Warrior, so it was gonna happen regardless. The only other guys that averaged 20, Mitch, Tim, and Mullen. That was only for 3 seasons, and people talk about Wilt. It's like, bro, he averaged 41 for 5.5 seasons. Yeah. He's gonna get past, and Barry 25.6 for only 8 seasons. So Curry was destined to do it. I just don't understand the whole about it, because it might be because we come from Celtic land where you gotta actually score some buckets to actually get up on there. So
the thing with Wilt's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at how many games Wilt did it in, and I think he did it in half the games Curry did it. I think Curry did it in like 800 something. Wilt did it in like 400 in some games.
That's kind of why I'm like not surprised. But we live in a world where if you get past, you give him that, that just due that respect. But it's like it was supposed to happen. The Warriors really haven't been, a stellar franchise in regards to pumping out Hall of Fame talent. There's a few Hall of Famers, but they're not like,
they haven't had no. I think they haven't had a long tenured guy like him before.
I just named you the last one. That was Paul Arizin. And he went to go fight in the military for 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
And my NBA Jam team was the Golden State Warriors. I'm a big TMC, but kudos to Steph Curry, but it was destined to happen.
The thing with this team, I was looking it up. When he's not on the floor, they go from like one of the top 5 offenses as far as production to like the bottom, to the way in the bottom. It's not because usually sometimes when your best player he sits on the bench, there's a drop off, but there's no drastic drop off. This it's just like you're at the top of the mountain, and then woo! So it's like, man, what kind of folks you surrounded him with?
And it's the system. It's like he's like Brady. He's like Brady of the NBA because the system is catered to him and Clay. Yeah. The rest of y'all gotta figure it out. So that's why when he gets off the court, there's such a drastic drop off like the Superman at Six Flags, just because they don't have anybody with their skill set to plug them in. Yeah. That's why they get so mad at Kelly Oubre, but it's like Kelly's doing his job. He's just not what you guys want him to be.
Yeah, Kelly's not a knockdown shooter. He's a slasher. He's not a knockdown shooter. He could
dunk all over your face.
Kelly Oubre would have been a lot. He would have a much better season if Clay was there. Because Clay would be getting all those open look corner threes that Kelly Oubre was getting, and Kelly Oubre could do what he does best and attack the basket.
It would be straight highlights for Kelly if he had Clay and stuff with him.
Yeah, so it was, and then Andrew Wiggins too. He's he's a mid-range player, and he's a mid-range player, and sometimes they ask him to do more than what he can. I'm just glad he's finally playing some defense in his life. But as far as offensively, he's one of those guys. He's kind of like a throwback player.
I think belongs in the mid-range. People forget too, just because you're a professional athlete and you can make threes, that doesn't make you a shooter. Yeah. Shooters been shooting their whole life. Yeah. Guys that been driving their whole life. Yeah, you can add some stuff to your game, but you're not gonna turn into a shooter overnight.
Definitely
you can add it to your game, but them guys were born shooters and were taught how to be shooters. Yeah. I can shoot the ball. I'm not a shooter. I'm a slasher. I get to the cup. Yeah. But you can make shots though, so just because you get paid millions of dollars, you're not going to change your whole game. You are who you are.
Yeah, definitely, and especially for a guy who probably shouldn't be taking more than 3 or 4 threes a game. That's once he goes 5, 6, 7, it's like then you're asking too much. But congratulations to Steph on that. Monday. These two teams played yesterday, and they're going to play again today. They played yesterday afternoon, but Monday the game was postponed because of what happened in Minneapolis with the Dante Wright shooting, and so there were games postponed. I know the Red Sox and Twins postponed their game, and then these guys were seeing more and more when stuff like this happened. These franchises or the players pretty much are not going to play. Their willingness to play just goes downhill because there's more important things at hand, and in a situation that was very, very preventable in a state that is already dealing with a trial from what happened last spring, I believe.
You know what I'm going to say, man? They don't care. As much as they, try to say they do. I don't want to hear about Black Lives Matter and all that. You heard about that lady buying a crazy mansion and all that. That's why I say, I don't really care about all that. Let's just stop killing our people.
Yeah.
My thing is, when I searched it, for one, the New York Post should be ashamed of themselves. The New York Post is a bunch of scum anyways. Like, the way they talk about DMX, and then all of a sudden, what I read was Dante Wright was facing robbery case when killed by cop. That was the headline.
Which was a false robbery case because they mailed the stuff that it was not him.
It just shows how scumbaggish the New York paper is. I don't never want to be involved with the New York paper. I don't want to meet anybody that works for the New York Post. I could care less because you guys, you might want to, which...
No, I don't.
All right. I'm speaking for both of us. You guys, what's that word? You guys sign off on this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just disrespectful to his family, like the people that raised this man. Like come on, like it's ridiculous. And doesn't justify anybody being murdered, anyways.
That's one thing. That's one thing. A lot of some of these outlets do. They try to justify somebody being killed. Either they're innocent or guilty. They'll still try to justify a person. You know, I mean, when I say innocent or guilty, either they're a good person or a bad person, or you know, if they've done some stuff in their life, they'll criminalize the person who can't defend themselves.
I think it's crazy how they treat citizens like this, but you give Joe Biden a pass. You talk about his past and he's changed, man, and all this, but then you treat regular civilians like this when everybody has a chance to change it.
And he was only 20.
Oh my God! So
that's the worst thing. He was only 20. Like, for a 20-year-old to lose his life for something so preventable. And when you read the reports, and I like what they did in the press conference when they asked the police chief, because they pulled him over for some tags, and some of the reporters asked the police chief, I believe, is he aware that, you know, the RMVs due to the pandemic are backed up, and some people might have appointments to replace their tags, but they can't go, or they've already got replacement tags, but they haven't came in yet. So is he aware of that? And they were asking him the hard question, and you could tell he was very uncomfortable, but he was saying he was aware. But that's, you know, that's something for a veteran officer of 26 years. So you should know the difference between your weapons. You should know the difference between the field, and then also is like, why you waste it? Some things are just like, I know some officers, they know there's a lot of stuff that's just like, this is not that serious. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of, especially in Lynn, there's plenty of officers that do that. If they say it's not that serious, so let you go. But don't try. They just escalate for no reason.
My man, I know my remote control without even looking at it, where all the buttons are and everything. You ain't gonna tell me you can't tell the difference between a taser and a firearm. I've held both. It's a drastic difference.
I've seen both. And
first of all, you holding a gun. There ain't no bright yellow anything anywhere.
Yeah.
So let's stop playing dumb.
Yeah.
Like, let's just stop playing dumb. My whole thing is, these people will never look on the other side of the fence. Like, if I have a kid in class that has a problem, I'm trying to figure out what they might be going through before I sit there and accuse them of something.
Yeah.
You know me, I don't accuse kids of anything because I've been there dealing with teachers. So it's like, understand what they're going through before you assume they are something that they aren't.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous, bro.
That is definitely, and you know, for a place for it to happen in Minneapolis, knowing that there's currently a trial happening for a slain civilian that happened last year, and for this to happen, it's just like, you know, you think they'd be more on edge, or they'd do their due diligence with it on the job, seeing what just happened in their state last year. But no, here we are again. We're talking about it. People are gonna get mad that we're talking about this on a sports show, but this goes into effect on the sports program. And
I'm gonna make more people mad. The only people who really been on edge in this country are people of color.
Yeah.
They ain't never had to be on edge for what?
Yeah.
What did they have to worry about in their life?
Yeah.
Other than like bills and, you know, their livelihood, but they go outside and they know nothing's gonna happen to them unless something happens, unless we do something to them.
Yeah.
They know the law enforcement's on their side. They know they can threaten and shoot police officers while they're pulled over, and they'll talk to him nicely, and he gets to drive home.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to hear that. Like,
yeah, same either.
I don't want to hear that.
It's just the most ridiculous thing is just he was 20 years old.
Wasn't even an adult yet, because your legal adult is 21.
Yeah.
So like, he hasn't even flourished into a full flower yet. And y'all nipped his, you know what I mean? Y'all clipped his leaves, man.
Yeah, they're very, very, very sad. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing situation that happened. But, you know, I mean, At this point, we're just like, and the thing is that we've seen what happened in Washington January 6th, and what was currently happening in Minnesota, and Minneapolis the other night. The National Guard was deployed in Minneapolis, and no National Guard was deployed in D.C. or anything. So that just tells you
they blatantly showing you how they feel about it.
How things work. So who could get away with what? But So move on to that. The Nets, Kyrie Irving and Dennis Schroeder had a little interesting altercation on Saturday, which led to an ejection. The Nets lost to the Lakers, and then Kyrie Irving was upset because Dennis Schroeder called him something that he didn't want to be called. And I mean, I laugh at certain things, and this was one of those because once again, things that happen on the basketball court. Like I said, the basketball court is the most disrespectful place on earth, and I mean, okay, Kyrie could be upset that he called it that, but come on, man, you can't lose your composure, or you could get ejected because of that. Because I'm pretty sure you've heard worse.
I'll be honest. I think this. I don't like the feel of this because he knew he's playing the Lakers. Man, how do you don't get ejected all year? All of a sudden, you get ejected while you playing the Lakers, and you were just talking crazy about the Lakers in the press conference last time y'all beat them.
A Lakers team that don't even have their two best.
And he was saying he want, you know what I mean. And granted, I'm all for you feeling a certain way about being called the N-word because we do need to stop saying that. You know, we all say, but we should abolish it. But it's not worth getting thrown out the game over. And you say he don't know me like that. For one, both of y'all German, like.
What Australia?
Oh, my bad. Oh, man, I thought he was from Germany. Australia. All right, then my fault then.
Someone said that's probably why he was upset, because he was getting called that by a German. All
right, well, you're both foreigners, now. No, but honestly, though, I get what he's saying, though, because as black people, we need to stop saying that word. I get it, we turn a negative to a positive, but we shouldn't have it at all.
I think with that, I think it just... I think language changes as we get older, because folks get older, they don't say it as much. I mean, when they're younger, like teenage, early to mid 20s, they say it a lot. But then as you get older, your language changes, your vocabulary changes. You don't say it that much. You might say it maybe if you're listening to music, or if something drastic happens to you and you just like. Curse out loud. But as far as interactions with your peers or that, when you get older, the language changes. That's one thing I kind of notice with people. Like as they get
maturity,
older.
man. Yeah. You mature every day. Yeah. You never stop growing up. So So he's looking like he's trying to be the next Black Panther, which I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But let's I want to say be a role model the right way, man. Like.
Hey man, it's the basketball court. You should have said something back to him. I would say what you should have said back to him, but I don't want to say that because
you put us in a sticky situation trying to explain this, bro. Because we wouldn't even have got mad about that. And if you're gonna get that, if you're gonna get that deep in his face, you should have just handled it.
Yeah, y'all should have just fought.
You should have got kicked out for a reason. Yeah. That's my thing.
But Kyrie Irving is like, and then the next day, he took time off because. Personal time off. I'm like, what kind of PTO does this dude have? Or what kind of PTO does NBA player have?
I don't speak on that because they talk about they want to have a better awareness on mental health and all that. So I'm saying this might be part of it. So I'm not gonna.
I need their PTO. That's all I know. Because them dudes sometimes they be like, all right, they let you know. They don't even let you. We gotta let them know a couple weeks in advance. They be like, day of. I gotta take a personal. Like, teams like. Yeah, I guess. See you in a couple days. Yeah, the Nets had
But my bad. But I do like how Kyrie is taking a step forward.
Yeah.
To be a role model and he's definitely not just for not just for the league, but for black young men around the world.
He's a good dude. It's just some of his antics is kind of hilarious, and people, I don't know why people don't laugh. They try to make it more. They try to take it all serious. I'm like. I laugh.
But they speak about that, but they ain't talk about him giving the kid that wad of money with for buying the candy bars and stuff. So, if you're going to shed light on him in a negative way, do it in a positive way as well. Yeah, he does a lot for the community.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's just, he's different. Just like everybody, he's different. His mindset is different. Also with the next, Kevin Durant and on Twitter. And
oh yeah.
Once again, this most entertaining team in the NBA because that stuff with Kevin Durant on Twitter. I understood him. He had a very valid point. You can't lie on the man on TV and then want to say let's talk in private. No. You lied on me on TV. We're gonna talk.
Especially how wild he be talking.
Yeah.
He talks crazy.
Yeah.
Be showing the guns and all that. Yeah. So like, come on, man.
And just all you had to say is you was wrong.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that's
but
it.
A lot of people, they reach a certain stature. It's hard for you to just come down to earth and be like, I'm sorry. I messed up. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. But they don't realize when you do that, people have way more respect for you. Because you have no problem being up here and coming down here to show people that you're normal.
Yeah.
That you're humility.
Yeah,
whatever the word. I can't talk today. Humility, there you go.
That's just one thing. All he had to do was say it. He didn't have to block him on Twitter or anything. All you had to say was sorry.
Yo, for one, this whole blockage of social media nonsense is crazy to me. Like, I don't understand why you blocking another man. Like, only way you should be blocking somebody if you're getting, like, harassed.
Yeah.
Like.
And it wasn't that serious and it wasn't that deep. He just asked you, why are you lying? That's it. I mean, I've been blocked on Twitter before. I don't block people, but I've been blocked.
I don't even have a Twitter. So.
Oh yeah, I've been blocked because I kept tweeting. Well, somebody said broke men take girls on first dates, coffee dates for the first date. So I started trolling. Her.
Broke men take
broken dusty men. That's what that was her words.
I think it's a lot easier to ask. I mean, granted, you know me, I don't care. I ask out dinner, coffee, whatever. Yeah. But it's like. I think it's easier to ask somebody out for coffee than for dinner because dinner's a little like
more intimate.
Yeah, thank you. Very intimate, and coffee just like get to know you. If none pans out to you, y'all could be friends, be cool. Like that dinner thing, that's a little
yeah. I got blocked. The girl blocked me for that, and we was laughing in the group chat about it. But.
I mean, I'll take you out of some tea. I don't drink coffee, but we do some tea.
All I did was post pictures of Starbucks and stuff. And,
honestly,
I was trolling. I was trolling, but I deserve to troll. Like, I'll be trolling.
But
I'll be trolling.
That ain't worth getting.
Nah, you can't say something. Here's my thing. You can't say something that dumb and not expect to not get clowned. And the funniest part, the sad part is there was people that are her friends that didn't check her on that, like didn't tell her that was a dumb thing that you just said. Instead they were defending her because people were rightfully so coming at her.
Because birds of a feather flock together. They all dumb. Do I know them?
No.
Oh, I wish I did. I wish I did. I would have sent a text like, you want something? Like,
oh man,
you want sugar with your coffee?
Okay, let's go to some NFL news before.
That's what I would have said, though.
All right, Julian Edelman announced his retirement on Monday. It was a nice video that he put out. Congratulations to him. I mean, I'm glad that he's doing it now because his body is giving up on him. He's been, the past couple of years, has been injury. Man went from a 7th round to a 3-time Super Bowl champion. And the most annoying thing is, instead of celebrating his career, people are talking about if he's a Hall of Famer or not, and he's not a Hall of Famer, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's a New England Patriots Hall of Famer, but not Pro Football Hall of Famer. Like, we need to stop that.
Who even? I don't even think he even cares.
I don't
Coming from where he came from, he's just happy that he had a great career and he's able to retire. Yeah. Like, but you got the skeptics over here trying to say what he is, but.
Yeah, they're trying to even have this. Even the Pro Football Hall of Fame put like a photo of him and said class of 2026, and I'm just like, what?
See, I don't know the numbers or the criteria to get in his position, so I don't speak on that.
Okay, just put it this way: Hines Ward has more receptions, yards, and touchdowns than him, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Hines Ward's not in the Hall of Fame?
No. And he's got 2 rings too.
Yo, NFL, y'all got an issue.
Yeah. So it's like if Hines Ward is not in the Hall of Fame, then come on now. And plus, Julian Edelman, he doesn't have the stats. He has great postseason stats, but he doesn't have totality, like regular season numbers and all that. It's not. It's good ring of honor
also
for your team's Hall of Fame.
Also, Hines Ward, was he half Korean?
Something
half Filipino.
He was something like
half Asian. Half Asian. So like he was like the spokesperson for Asian community in the NFL, but they didn't have any. I think he was like the only one.
Oh yeah.
So like he should be in the Hall of Fame for a few more things.
Yeah. So it's good, but you know. We love Edelman. He came up with so many big plays, especially again the 28-3 the 28-3 comeback where he made one of the greatest catches in probably postseason history. And you know, it's hard to be a 7th round pick in the last 12 years in the league.
It's hard to be a 7th round pick in the last 1 year. Especially as a wide receiver.
Last through camp.
Yeah, like, as a wide receiver too, like in his size too, like. He exceeded all expectations, man.
And he did everything that was asked of him. And when he came in, he was like behind Wes Welker, Randy Moss. I think Gronk and Hernandez was still on there. So
where's he from?
Cali.
He looks like he's from out here, though, bro.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a Bostonian through and through.
Yeah, he's taking the whole Bostonian look and everything.
I think it's dope that these Cali guys cover Cali, and they really they engulf themselves in the New England culture. But somebody even like the code. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, So congratulations to Edelman, man. It was like my favorite. Let me see. My favorite play of his probably that 2014 playoffs. I think he threw a touchdown against the Ravens in the postseason, and then when he got drilled in the Super Bowl by Cam Chancellor and somehow held on to the ball and was still able to get some more yards, and even though he had a concussion and still stayed in the game, but which he probably should not have been. But it was the Super Bowl last game of the season, so he was like, after this, I'm staying in the game.
I don't have a favorite Edelman play. I had a hard time trying to figure out the difference between him and what's his name?
Wes Welker?
Yeah, no, the other dude. He was in between Wes Welker, I think. It was Wes Welker, the other dude, Danny Amendola.
Oh, Amendola.
It took me a while to understand the difference between them two. They were the same size, the same person. I just think it was him all the time. So it took me a little bit. Edelman, actually, my favorite Edelman moment when they won the Super Bowl, he was wilding.
Oh, at the parade?
And that's when I thought he was from Massachusetts.
Oh, I was there at that parade. Yeah, he was definitely wilding.
That's what I thought. Wilding. I thought he was from Revere or something.
I think he took his shirt off and everything.
He was wilding.
It was like 10 degrees outside. Yeah.
Bostonian type stuff, though.
Yeah, chugging beers and stuff. Oh, man. Oh, here's another cool story. Former NFL player, running back, Ohio State, and Heisman Trophy winner, Eddie George. He was the named head coach of Tennessee State. He hasn't had no head coaching experience.
Hey, we don't talk about that. We don't.
No, when I read it, I was just like, oh, okay, kudos to them. I think it's cool though to see these guys.
Yeah, I follow Eddie George so long. My Uncle Mock, big Eddie George fan. Yeah. Eddie George probably one of my favorite running backs. He made being ball look cool. But honestly though, that's what I mean. Like, granted, he has no experience, but he's Eddie George. Give him a job.
Pretty much.
Give him a job.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure. One, the running backs are gonna be straight because you got a Heisman Trophy winner as your head coach. But I'm sure when some of these former players get these head coaching jobs, they always surround themselves with people that are smarter than them at different positions. Because football, there's 200 different coaches in football, so they always surround themselves with people that get the most out of the students. So I think that's pretty cool.
And they've been on the other side, being a player, knowing that this coach is an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. We've all had coaches be like, this dude's an idiot, bro. How does he even get this job? But you got to deal with him. It teaches you how to deal with other coaches in the future. And we talk enough about these guys in suit and ties holding briefcases, getting these positions. It's time to get guys that actually, we're in the dirt, going through the grind.
It's just time to give some of these other guys a chance and give them the opportunity to, just to show what they got. Because sometimes when you recycle coaches, it's like, but you sometimes gotta give them new faces.
We have too many guys that played the game to not have guys involved.
Yeah.
That played the game. There's too many.
Yeah.
It's like what, 150 on each team?
Yeah. 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 It's way too much.
Come on.
And it's also HBCU too. So HBCUs have been getting a lot of, Deion Sanders over there at Jackson State, and now him over here. Now I think Dion got a partnered with Pepsi to do something with HBCUs or to get some money or something like that. It was a good partnership that he made with Jackson State and Pepsi.
Is it Mo Williams coaching the HBCU too?
I believe so. Yeah.
So they're trying to just, I want to say, build the foundation football and basketball. I don't know what they do in baseball, but we know the revenue sports of football and basketball for these schools.
And also, some of these HBCUs have produced more Hall of Famers than these Power 5, these PWI schools. So there's talent at HBCUs, and also the University of Miami in the '80s. Their whole run started after they lost to an HBCU.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was listening to the pod. They lost to an HBCU, and the coach, I forget the coach that kind of before Jimmy Johnson.
All I know was Jimmy, brother.
No, there was the coach before Jimmy Johnson that kind of started the wave. After they lost to the HBCU, he was like, we got to get those type of guys. And that's when he started going deep into Miami to get those guys, and that's it. And it paid off.
And they respect you more when you go to the hood and get some guys.
Yeah, they said he was coming in there with a suit and tie and his pipe, and he was just acting like he belonged. and he said the players' parents loved him for that.
Honestly, man, like I said, when you can show humility, they respect you more for it.
And when you are yourself amongst people, they'll respect that a lot more instead of you trying to be coming in there trying to sell people dreams and be something that you're not. People like you when you're yourself.
Trust me, I know.
Oh yeah. So we gotta go back to the NBA because I kind of skipped over the Celtics and Blazers because I have it up right here too. So this was an exciting game. So second half wild as well. Last 20 seconds was wild as well. But the Celtics, they got themselves going a little bit, and those West Coast trips are never good. Going from east to west and playing, for some reason it's never good.
It definitely wasn't good for the Celtics bench.
No,
like I'm a little worried about the Celtics. Like, granted, they pulled out the win by 1 point, but only 3 guys were scoring for Portland. So if somebody want to throw a couple buckets in there, Celtics would have lost. All 5 of their starters were in double figures.
Yeah.
Smart had a +3.
Yeah. +4. Yeah.
+4. It's always a good time when Mukala plus or minus.
Yeah.
A positive plus or minus. So the bench has to do something.
Yeah, they need to do better, especially if they want to make a postseason run. Because right now I think they're number 5 right now in the East. It's 5 through 7.
They get a chance to drop in between.
Yeah, if you lose one game, you'll drop. Yeah. But right now they're on a good winning streak, and I'm just glad that they're able to win these type of games because these guys, just been so up and down. Or maybe they're figuring themselves out. Yeah, but you are right. The bench needs to do a lot more than 10 points.
If somebody scored 4 points, they lose. That's what I mean. And legit, Portland only had 4 guys that legit came to play.
Yeah. Man. I don't. The bench. I thought they should have. Maybe when Evan Fournier gets back, things will somehow get a little better or something.
He scored, right?
Evan Fournier.
He scored. Yeah.
I don't think he played.
I thought he played one game. And he didn't score.
Oh, the first game he didn't score, and then he's hit 10 threes.
Cool.
The first game was just a disaster, but he's been a lot better since.
I haven't heard about him.
Also, Romeo Langford came back. He's had a couple before this game. He only played 9 minutes, but before that, he had a couple good games. And I've been asking on social media for a year, when are we ever going to see this dude on the floor?
I was talking to Justin. I was like, I didn't see Romeo Langford so long. His whole hairstyle changed. Last time I see him, we had a box mohawk type deal. Now he got the braids. I was like, hang time. I feel like I didn't see him in 3 years.
Bro, I didn't either. It's been so long since I seen him on court. I didn't know who he was.
It's a whole new person.
Yeah, I was just baffled by it. But hopefully, because he showed a little bit of why they drafted him the previous 2 games. He did a lot on the offense and defensive side.
And he's young.
He's young. He need to be on the court.
Only way to improve is to play.
Yeah, he been injured too much, off the court too much, so it's just but we'll see with this team. I don't know, every time I watch this team, I just feel like drinking because it's...
Yeah, whatever happened to that young dude, the guy that went to Kentucky, who was with the Red Claw? He was nice.
James Young?
Yeah, what happened?
He out of the league.
Why, yo? I don't. Probably overseas getting.
Probably
getting
probably people don't know how to use his skill set because he got game.
So
yeah.
As a rookie, he was knocking stuff down, and then we get these other guys that can't even give us no layups.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And you know, I ran to him when I did my daily workout. Okay. Red Claws up there.
Oh, gotcha. So. Hey, and then we got 10 bench points, 116 points, 10 bench points, 10 bench points.
Now you see why I'm over here worried.
I've been worried about this team, man. I be feeling like I be about to turn to a drunk watching these guys because it's like, it's the only way I can watch these dudes is drinking. Because let's go to No Huddle. Craig got some thoughts on Julian Edelman's retirement. We go to Craig, and then we gonna come back. We're gonna come back, do another throwback, and then we gonna talk some other stuff.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, and I'm here to give you some news. Starting off, a couple little tidbits before I jump into my headline. Jadeveon Clowney signs a 1-year deal with the Cleveland Browns worth up to $10 million. And in a really good surprise, James Conner signs with Arizona Cardinals, also on a 1-year deal, actually worth less than $2 million, which was a huge shock to me. Not that he's, a high-valued running back, but when he's on his game, and I would have believed he would have been at least in the $4 to $5 million for a 1-year contract. But we'll see where that brings. Arizona Cardinals are looking really dangerous. Signing A.J. Green, James Conner, they have DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk with Kyler Murray. It's going to be a dangerous squad on offense. We'll see what they do with their defense. So the big news of the year: Julian Edelman has retired. Sad day for Patriots fans. One of the most beloved players in the history of the franchise. Arguably one of the best receivers the Patriots have ever had. Just to kind of give you some accolades, Julian Edelman was drafted in the 7th round, and for those who don't know, drafted as a quarterback, not as a wide receiver, and transitioned into the wide receiver position. Also, if you don't remember, Julian Edelman was actually, he actually played both sides of the ball, cornerback and wide receiver, during the time of Wes Welker. High-level athlete, clutch wide receiver, and definitely a security blanket for Tom Brady. Has won 3 Super Bowls. He's won 1 Super Bowl MVP. He's recorded 620 receptions with 6,822 receiving yards, a total of 41 touchdowns, 118 postseason receptions with 1,422 receiving yards in the postseason, second only to Jerry Rice, one of the greatest to ever do it. He has 4 punt returns for touchdowns. He has 177 returns for 1,986 yards. The kid did it all. Super clutch. Obviously one of my favorite wide receivers. And, a highly notable name on the Patriots squad. He'll be missed. His intensity. One of my favorite things I loved about Julian Edelman is his ability to not only take a hit, but he was like high-flying, high-action. Homeboy take a hit, do a triple salt backflip. Wasn't afraid to make contact. Super fast, super elusive. Just a great all-around wide receiver. And played for us for a long time. It was great to see him play. Sad to see him retire. But he's not retiring due to the fact of the lack of love for the game. Just, too many injuries. And, not enough recovery from those injuries to allow him to continue. May we see Julian Edelman in the future? I don't know. Chances are, if he comes back in a year or two, it's most likely going to be to Tampa to play with Tom Brady one last time, which I ain't mad at. You know, Tom Brady is one of the greatest who ever did it, and him and Julian Edelman had a close relationship, just like him and Gronk. So I wouldn't be surprised if next year he came back and let the Patriots trade him to Tampa Bay. But we're losing all of our most notable players for the New England Patriots. Brady gone, Gronk gone, Julian Edelman gone. But you know, it's time for a new future. Cam Newton on another 1-year contract. We signed lots of wide receivers, 2 great tight ends. What we're looking for is what's going to happen in the draft. Do we trade up and get a quarterback, or do we go after one of the high-level wide receivers? Time will tell, and I will bring it to you as soon as I find out. Back to After the Whistle. See you next week.
All right. Okay. And we are back. Thank you, Craig, for that. All right. Let's talk a little. Okay. We're going to go back. Some high school football throwback. So here's another one. Listen, I've gotten a lot. I'm a Lynn English alum, but I've gotten a lot of Lynn Classical stuff, which, you know, this like hurts my soul that I'm doing all this stuff with Lynn. But they're the only ones that got. The classical folks are the only ones that actually send me old tapes and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you're a former English player or English alum, basketball or football, and you got old VHS tapes, send them to me so I can put them up, and I don't have to be putting up all these classical highlights. Because, geez Louise, man, you know we don't like them over here. It's all good. It's all good. So this is the 2000 season, 2000 Lynn Classical. It was 2000 opener, Lynn Classical versus Greater Lawrence. Yo, that 2000 Classical team was.
Football?
Yeah. Them dudes were some grown men.
They were beating them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a tough team. They only lost one game by 1.2. Yeah. It was 6-7. That was it. And I talked to JP and
did they pick a run or something? A run play or something? It was something I kind of vague. No,
it was like back-to-back years they lost. Also, like,
yeah, but there was like a play. You know, every year we around them guys, they talk about the plays that should have ran, the plays that didn't work. So I felt like every year there's one play that they.
When I talked to Tony, he said, "Man, if we had a field goal kicker, we probably would have won." Because they had no field goal. Cause they went for 2 all the time.
They didn't have a lineman that could kick. St. Mary's have a.
I think they had Chris Faison kicking.
Chief. My guy, Chief.
I mean, Chris was athletic as hell, but.
Yo, people don't understand how amazing that man was in the pool.
Oh, yeah?
I met Chris Faison at Camp Creighton Pond. It was like a camp that the Boys and Girls Club did. It was like a couple groups of kids, and they busted them out the Creighton Pond. I got kicked out of it. I was an issue.
Of course you would.
I was an issue as a kid.
Of course he would.
But I met him. The man in the pool was amazing.
Oh.
Amazing. I was probably like 11.
Yeah, so he was just an all-natural athlete. He was
amazing in the pool.
Yeah, I remember we played football. I think it was after he graduated. We went down to Revere. He just played football or something. I'm like, yo, this dude's fast.
I actually had his daughter. Okay. In Novea.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Had it at school.
All right, check out these highlights. And yeah, there was some hits in that game too. Cause the first play of the game, it was a fumble. It was a helmet knocked off and all that. So check these highlights out.
Actually, it's Novea.
All right, and we are back. I mean, we got more highlights. I got a whole bunch of more highlights coming up too. So there's gonna be one Eastern Mass Championship game. I think it was like 93 or 94. Lynn Classical versus Dover Sherburne. I think that's the name of the school. Yeah, I think that's the name of the school.
It's still around?
I don't know. This is 1993 or whatever.
No, I mean the school's still around.
Oh, I don't know.
We played Savio. They extinct.
Oh, damn.
Savio Prep was Don Savio.
Yeah.
They got rid of him. I actually read an article on it a couple days ago because I was like, what happened to Savio? They got rid of that school.
Yeah, I remember there was another school that got rid of in Malden too. It was this dude Rob's nephew played hoops in them. Rob's cousin or whatever.
Which Rob?
Boy Rob.
Oh, that school in Malden?
I think it was Malden.
He didn't go to Malden Catholic, I think.
Oh, yeah, this was a few years ago.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I forget the name of the school.
I can't even think of the name.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of schools been doing it. Yeah. That game was kind of... I was watching that game, I was like, this is some terrible basketball for like the first 20 minutes of
Which
it.
game?
That classical Eastern Mass title game with Marco saying Calvin and all that. I was like, yo, all these niggas is wild right now until they settle down.
How much they win by?
They won by I think double digits.
Okay.
Yeah. The game's up on YouTube somewhere, so there's a whole bunch of stuff up on YouTube I put up. All right, let's go around the sports world. Okay, the Red Sox 7 in a row. They beat the Twins last night 7-3. Rafael Devers hit a homer for the 4th straight game. And things are always good around here when the Red Sox are actually good.
Must be why the weather's getting nice.
Yeah.
Must be everything. Cause I'm like, now that makes sense. Like, yeah, weather's nice. The Red Sox is good. Cause last year weather was trash and the Red Sox was awful. So you ain't lying, man.
Oh, man. Yeah,
everything's alright when the Red Sox doing well.
When the Red Sox are doing well, everybody's happy. Everybody of all walks of life are happy. With the Red Sox. Even people who don't watch baseball like that, they're happy. So keep up the good work, the Red Sox. Right. The Bruins defeated the Sabres 3-2. Craig Smith, David Krejci each had a goal, and this went into a shootout. Charlie Coyle and Jake DeBrusque, they each scored. They won the shootout 2-0. So the Bruins got a nice little winning streak going on. You know, that's another team. Not a lot of people talk about them, but it's good when it's just good when certain teams around here are winning.
Yeah, I need to get me a Bruins jersey.
But the jerseys are tough.
I'm gonna get the hoodie one with the strings. I ain't gonna get the regular one. I don't wear hockey. I don't wear jerseys at all. Yeah, so you see me, I'm a t-shirt guy.
The Bruins hoodies and jerseys are tough, especially the all black.
Oh yeah.
All right. NFL news: former Chiefs assistant Andy Reid's son. He's charged with DWI from what happened. But not a surprise because of what happened and the people involved. So
you said Andy Reid or his son?
His son, Britt Reid.
Didn't his son get in some other issues? I know he had a...
No, I think that might have been a different...
Oh, okay. No, his other son passed away. Yeah. He had a son that passed.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But this one, it was the DWI, and he had a little girl who was in critical condition.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, they gotta do better, man.
Yeah.
You would think like him losing his brother, his dad going what he goes through, like you kind of be on your P's and Q's just because of who you are, bro. And then this happens, like...
terrible. All right, and then also the Cardinals signed former Steelers running back James Conner. I think that's a good fit for them offensively. He's a nice back. I think I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I think like he's a cancer survivor. I think at one point, I might be wrong, but I think at one point he had like James Conner.
Oh, James Conner, running back, man.
Yeah,
I don't really know if he did. I'll look it up.
I might be wrong, but congratulations, he should help out the Cardinals offense a lot because he's good. He's not bad at running and catching the ball, so we'll see how that one goes. And also, he's a cancer survivor. Right?
Yep.
Also, other NBA news: Alex Rodriguez and billionaire Mark Lore, they pretty much have bought the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Minnesota Lynx. And I'm only bringing this up because Anthony Edwards is becoming my new favorite player in the league because they asked him about it and he said he don't know who who Alex Rodriguez is. I'm not surprised though he does it because he's very young. But
why would he though? Like,
yeah, it's just hilarious. It's just his response.
He's pretty honest.
Yeah, he's very honest.
Very honest. I like him, but it's like one of the things like people are so shocked, but it's like in our reality you shouldn't be.
He's only like 20.
Like Alex Rodriguez been out of baseball for how long?
Yeah.
And then when he was on the PEDs and that stuff, he wasn't even himself. So it's like.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes I don't get why they ask some of these young guys certain questions about certain players because it's like you think they know, but they probably don't because that's just not something they pay attention to.
Probably a Braves fan, anyways. I doubt he cares about the Yankees.
Yeah.
Or the Mariners.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. All right. MMA. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. They're set to fight a trilogy on July 10th. I believe the papers have been signed. They made the announcement. I believe it was yesterday or Monday. They made the announcement. So July 10th in Vegas. They're gonna have fans in the stands. So this guy. He's really trying to sell out this arena. Whatever. I keep forgetting the MMA owner.
Dana White.
Yeah. He's trying to have a sellout in Vegas for this one because now they're getting fans in seats and fans in attendance and stuff like that. But hey, why not? No better way than to sell out than have McGregor fighting because. No matter what, there's some type of entertainment gonna be with him in the ring. So we'll see. I probably won't watch it, but
depending on where I am.
Yeah. If somebody orders, if I'm at my cousins and they watch it, I'm like, sure, I'll tag along.
Yeah, it depends where I am if I watch it or not.
WrestleMania 37 occurred this past weekend.
Really?
Yeah, it was a 2-day event. Saturday and Sunday. I was like, oh man, yeah.
Wrestling don't have, like I say about football, it don't have the leg room that it once did compared to like when we watch it. We watch a 2-day event back in the day because wrestling was worth watching it. Yeah. 2-day event for what?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean there was some history kind of made. Bobby Lashley, he became the WWE champion, and Bianca Belair, she defeated Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, I think they call her nickname's the Man. I'm still trying to figure out why that's her nickname, but you diehard wrestling fans, please come get at me. I used to be, but
I know you're talking about, but I don't.
Yeah, she became SmackDown Women's Champion. Roman Reigns was Universal Champion. Bad Bunny was in a tag team match against The Miz and some guy named John Morrison.
You know what? I can't even be surprised because when we were younger, they had rappers and stuff being involved. So it's just a cycle.
They had Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it's just a cycle. But it's like, just get people that you actually believe that can compete in that round.
But I will say this: Bad Bunny did look like he knew what he was doing in there, though. I saw the highlights. He did look like he knew what he was doing. It's like, a lot better than Snoop.
Bro, we all know. I told you, I was done watching. I grew up on Snoop. I stopped watching wrestling after I saw him do this on the top rope. I was like, come on, Snow. You could at least jump from there.
Yeah, Snoop. Yeah, that one with Snoop, I was like...
But that was a bucket list moment for him. I ain't even mad at him.
Yeah, I mean, they had Shaq on there.
But Shaq 7 feet. Yeah, Karl Malone, they had Shaq, but those guys were like,
No, the Karl Malone one was hilarious. Karl Malone,
it was
Dennis
hilarious.
Rodman.
Yeah, but them guys are like massive guys. Like,
yeah.
If they wanted to change their career after basketball, they could try wrestling out a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of these people got no business even getting through the ropes.
Okay. Also, some other NFL news. The Pittsburgh attorney said he'll file assault charges against Aaron Donald for allegedly attacking a man in Pittsburgh on April 11th. I will show you the photo of the man that he attacked, and Aaron Donald doesn't look like a person I'd want to mess with.
Now, question: why his eye look like somebody's booty?
My question is, what did you do?
They look like two butt cheeks. Not even an eyeball anymore, bro. He got a fatty on his face.
I want to know what he did.
Yeah.
To provoke, because you can't take a butt whooping like that unless you did something.
And I'm sure the judge might ask, like, all right, Could you please tell me what happened on the date of such and such and you too, son? Because I need to hear this. This dude got an elephant on his face.
They need to have Judge Joe Brown design. They need to be on Judge Joe Brown or Judge Judy.
You don't need Judge Joe Brown, bro. First you gotta talk about fighting crackheads growing up. There's always gonna be a crackhead involved. Judge Joe Brown.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's go to NBA top 10 before we go. NBA top 10. We gonna come back in that right.
You already know Judge Joe Brown, bro.
Yeah. And we are back. Sorry, we can't show y'all my man's eye being shut just for we don't want to scare y'all children, but
he no longer has an eye.
Yeah,
it's something else.
Yeah, he need an eye patch. He looked
turned into a hide.
Seriously,
on his face.
Man, before we get out of here, in some sad news, hip hop lost a great pioneer over the weekend. Dmx passed away on April 10th.
I don't even know because social media was all false narratives and people thinking they know what was going on.
Yeah. Dmx passed away over the weekend. You know, he suffered a heart attack. He was on life support for a while, and the family decided to take him off life support. And it was the thing about this passing. I just didn't like. I didn't like how the reports and how just people. It showed the lack of journalistic ethics that some journalists have, because you had somebody putting out that he passed away, and then his manager has to get on social media and tell people to stop spreading these false rumors that he passed away. He's still alive. Then the reason for him being in the hospital, people thought it was over an overdose, but later found out it was because of a heart attack, and people don't know the reason for the heart attack, but people quickly just to say it was due to a drug overdose, and we're just like, yo, what are we doing here right now? Can we get information, let all this play out first before y'all start making judgments? I mean, the man is on life support, and everybody is quick to jump to the drugs and all that.
Why don't they just show the man some respect first?
Yeah.
Like, these people, they wouldn't say that to his face. A lot of these nerds wouldn't say it to his face. I'll say this to your face.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, I told my mom, I said, honestly, like, the year he's had this past year, it's probably been one of the greatest years of his life since being a performer, because it's like the Lord just showed him like how important he was to the world and the culture, and it's like it's him being on Versa with Snoop.
Yep.
Him doing songs with Griselda, him doing performances, just him being around now. Him being clean, being around, being happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I just said, like, the Lord just showed him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One hell of a year, and how many people you affected. Like.
Yeah, because he was one of those guys. He didn't care about the money. He didn't care about the fame. He was just like, it's all good and stuff, but, you know, what am I going to leave? And his thing was like, what is he going to be remembered for? Because you could have all the money and all this other stuff and fame, but if you don't impact people's lives, then what is your purpose here? And when you look on social media, so many random people just had random moments with him, like just him just randomly being around it, and he was like, he said he was literally like the people's champ.
Oh, he definitely was. Like it's kind of like a trend. It's kind of like the theme for this show is he was so high, but he always walked down here. Yeah, because he was the definition of humility, man.
Yeah,
like,
and he definitely. And he said one thing. There was one photo somebody put. He came to a Waffle House and he was mopping the floor. And he said if you become too big to mop the floor, then you
mop the floor, clean the counter.
Yeah, then like,
you effed up.
Yeah, you pretty much effed up. Like so, he had his humility, and plus I mean, for those that are true fans of him, know his backstory, you could tell why he's the way he is because how he grew up and just being alive and being able to impact people that grew up like he grew up and change their lives. That's the most important thing.
He probably had the first album I ever listened to from start to finish without skipping a song. Yeah. And I remember when Justin had it, Flesh of My Flesh, Butter of My Blood, got a cassette. Yeah. We didn't even know it came out yet because it wasn't even a full year. You know, you had to wait a year or two for guys to come up with the second album. Justin would see while your practice. Yeah. He showed me the tape, and I was so like, what? I had to get the tape the next day. Yeah. So that was two things, you know what I mean, that stuff that I remember about DMX, let alone all the songs, being in locker rooms, warming up to his music and stuff. So
yeah, he was definitely the definition of a humbled man.
Definitely my top 5.
And the thing I like most about him is he knew he had a problem, but he never shied away from his problem. He never shied away from talking about his problem or how he even began with that. You know, you got the full story, and he always knew that this was a fight, and he, no matter what, he's gonna get his message across. He's gonna talk to people. He was just like, and also with the videos, it was like he always held court wherever he was at. Like whenever he meets people, he'll hold court, just talk to people, and people will listen. I saw one. It was him, Nipsey Hussle, and some of Nipsey Hussle's friends, and they were just out. And they was talking to him, showing respect, and then he just started giving them game, just started talking to them, and everybody was listening. And then at the end, they said a prayer.
He was like the hood preacher, bro. Yeah, he really was. Like you could take anybody from the hood and put in the church and have them affect the world. Yeah, better than Joe Osteen and all these other guys. Yeah. Be DMX, because if we had a hurricane or something happen in a certain state, they wouldn't close their doors. DMX would leave his open for everybody. Like
definitely. So he's gonna be missed, but the music lives on, and you know, as they say, legends do not die.
Top 5 in my book.
Definitely top 5. You know, he's a lot of y'all's favorite rappers. So definitely. But as far as all the other people that were doing all that other nonsense and stuff with the misinformation and stuff, y'all got to do better. Especially journalists, y'all got to do better. It's like wait till things play out and you get all the full scale. Don't just try to be first to report something, because that's the way things going. Also, we like to say rest in peace to Sid. She passed away this past Sunday. She was a cool person. Rest in peace to her. It was unfortunate. It was just sad overall, her passing. And she was so young, but rest in peace to her. You know, shout out to her. And everybody just, hey, enjoy life, embrace the people. You know, make sure you keep in contact with y'all folks, like y'all folks, because some of y'all, I don't know, y'all be trying to ignore people or just cut people off for no reason. So and then come back around, and when y'all need to, you know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have falling outs. We either friends or we ain't.
Yeah. And I would put someone on blast, but this ain't the time right now. So we about to get up out of here. All right. Make sure you go to the LCTV Facebook page, catch up on stuff like that. Lynn Community Television website as well, lyntv.org. Make sure you check us out on that. LCTV After the Whistle Instagram page. More videos are coming back. We got a whole bunch of throwback stuff on there. A lot of games. And there's some more games that will be put out, some more highlights of games. You know, we got some St. Mary's game coming up once this guy puts up his VCR.
I gotta hook up a VCR and search some tapes. Hopefully I got some old films.
Oh man, make sure you follow him, Mr. Burton 23 on Instagram, Mukala K on Instagram. And if we forgot, we didn't even talk about Paul Pierce's nonsense last week, but
Paul Pierce said he got big things coming.
Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.